Okay. Let's see. Today's date is July 3rd, 2024. The time is 10:01 a.m. Um, I'm in a really good mood today, and I'm probably not going to. I will have to do it eventually. Like, I'm going to do it, but um, a lot. I had to do some traveling, and a lot happened to me during my travels, and of course I ignored it. Um, you would like never know if anything happened to me because I didn't give it light. I didn't give it light, and I didn't give it energy. Therefore, it's almost like it didn't happen. However, it did happen. It's just I chose to ignore it. Um, and, you know, I feel like that's part of my superpower as well, because someone tries to get the best of me or tries to get me to react or to respond to things that they should not be able to do to me. But because obviously I have the biotech in my body, and I'm radioactive from the tips of my toenails to the fibers in my hair, I feel everything. So it's kind of like that old saying, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to. So regardless of the fact that I'm radioactive from the tips of my toenails to the fibers in my hair, I don't, or I choose not to respond to everything that is communicated by way of feeling, especially when I know that it's adverse or it's mocking or it's meant to cause my downfall. So I just kind of like, sometimes it's really hard, but I literally cherry pick what I choose to respond to when it comes to this biotech. Um, and really my response is just adhering to it, like trying to interpret or understand why or what the point or purpose is. I definitely know what happened to me literally the whole way here was was not good. I'll just leave it like that. I'll probably detail it later. I may not talk about it until I get back, because like I said, I'm in a different environment now, and I like to feel better and feel happy and feel good, and I don't want to ruin it by rehashing something that someone else did to me that I was able to ignore. So I'm like, just let that be. You ignored it. You showed no reaction. Your day went smoothly. Be proud of that. Don't rehash it right now. The only reason why I would rehash it is because how can you fix the problem if you don't understand the algorithm? It's kind of like there needs to be consequences and accountability for what was done to me using biotech on my way here. No one should be able to use the biotech that way. What way are you referring to? Well, I'll tell you later. I'm not going to do it in this recording. All I wanted to say is I'm posting this podcast because it's general. It's not detailed. However, I wanted to say that if you go to NikolaSparks.com or HumanCapital.com, HumanCapitalPodcast.com should be going to my Apple Podcasts. NikolaSparks.com goes to my podcast for Android users. So one is for Apple users, the other one is for Android users. The last 39 podcasts that I've done in this month, or within this month and last month, are under my subscriber only you have to click on my profile and you have to go under patron support. And anyone that has supported me can listen to those recordings. Those are like 39 recordings that I did within the last month and then last month. The same thing with Apple subscribers. If you subscribe, you can listen to those recordings. They're specific. They're not general. As of right now, it says no one is listening to my podcast. Actually, that's not true. It said 500 and something people listen to my Android users podcast, but only the free ones, which are from like May, none of them from June, none of them from July, like really April. So like all the ones I did in May, all the ones I did in June, which are subscriber only. Most of them are subscriber only. It says 0 people have listened to them. It said 500 people listened to the ones before that. I don't believe that, because either someone's hacking my recordings, because like there's people that copy people's podcasts. I've read some articles about that. So I'm like, number one, when I do my recordings, I get reactions from the public when I'm like leaving my house from where I live at now. But I'm like, they could be listening to your old ones. They could be listening to something, because I do have a lot of free ones out there, and I have over 200 out there. I have over 2,000 audio recordings, because I've been recording ever since my surgery. However, I have not posted them. I've only posted the ones from the current years, which is recent. And then I always have, I'm a storyteller, so I always have, like, I don't need to really, even though I said I would one day, I said I would go back and post all of my recordings from the time of my surgery, which was where they snuck this biotech in my body, which was 2015 all the way to 2019. It's probably more than 2,000 audio recordings, but I have not posted them. So the ones that I've actually posted are from the recent, current, real-time days, months, and years. And there's over 200 posted. Most of them are free. The ones the last 39 that I've done are not free. They're subscriber only. So that's just an FYI. So if you go to NikolaSparks.com, you have to click on profile. You have to click on patron support. And as of right now, it says 0 people have supported me. However, 500 people have listened to my podcast, but it must have been my free podcast. And then I contacted Podbean, because they're my host now, and they have listeners per podcast post. So some of my podcasts are subscriber only, yet it says that people listen to it. So I emailed them and I said, where's my money? Like, I didn't say where's my money, but I kind of said, I see that people listen to my paid podcast post, because it shows it per recording, but I don't see any money under my patron support. So I'm kind of like, how is it that they can listen to the ones that I post for subscriber only, but I have no subscribers? Make that make sense. And then I was watching Wildin' Out last night, and I noticed that they had my daughter knows who she is, because she's like young. I don't really know who she is, but my daughter is very disconnected from who I am, but connected to who I am as mom. So if you understand what that means, she's very connected to who I am as mom. She's very disconnected to who I am as the voice of the person who's had this surgery. But I noticed the girl she was telling me about, who was young in her age bracket, how she was sitting behind like the Matrix. Like, she had the Matrix and she was sitting behind it, and she had some choice words. So I'm like, it makes me wonder, are the rich and wealthy taking my voice, my experiences with this biotech in my body and like capitalizing on it in some way. But yet when I look at my subscriber support, it says I have no subscribers, yet it shows that people were listening to my subscriber only recordings. And like Podbean is in Delaware, so I'm like, I looked up who owns it, and I'm like, well, how do you know that they're taking it from Podbean? Maybe someone is hacking your devices or something. Like, you don't really know how it's happening, but I can still hold Podbean accountable for their metrics where it says X amount of people listen to this particular podcast. Well, how? If it's subscriber only, and if it's subscriber only, where's my money? So make that make sense, please. Make that make sense. So anywho, okay, that's the end of this recording.